Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you about the data analysis assignment. Sometimes this causes a little trouble for some people. Just because it's unusual, it's really not that difficult. It's just what we're going to do is it's a way to do a t-test, which is to compare means of two different groups. To do that, first of all, be sure you look back at Chapter 11 notes from Week 10. It will help you with the interpretation. Then there are two websites that will help you crunch the numbers. You don't have to do it by hand. It's Vassar Stats or StatCrunch, and we're going to use Vassar Stats in this example. If you go down, what you're supposed to do is go to vassarstats.net and then click on T-Tests and Procedures, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. So over here on the left, you see T-Tests and Procedures, and then you see the two sample T-tests for independent. What this means is that we're doing two different groups. It's not a pre and post test. It's a test between two different groups. So we got a sample A and a sample B. We're going to say they were in, say it's two different classes. One class was using technology in their social studies curriculum. The other class was not. Sample A was technology. Sample B was not. So I'm going to enter some scores. All you do is enter the scores and hit enter on all except the last one, and I'm just doing random scores. And you should not hit enter on the last one. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to our other class. And I am purposely making these lower so that I hopefully can see a significant difference so I can show you what it looks like. But these are small sample sizes, so who knows if we can pull that off. Okay, so now you go to calculate, and you scroll down, you've got the N means the number in each group. You got 15 in A, 15 in B, and a total of 30. These numbers are important in calculating the t-test. We should, if I were predicting, I'd say we'd have a significant difference because our mean in one is 94.47 and our mean in B is 56.13. The difference in the mean is 38.33. That's quite a bit of difference. And so if this is our t-test right here, this is what you need to be concerned with. T-test is 7.31. This is the number, basically it's the number of participants minus 2. That's how they account for some error. And then you are to look at the one-tailed t-test, and in this case the one-tailed t-test is a 0.0001. Well, in your assignment it says the alpha level or the level of significance should be 0.05. So this is less than 0.05, so yes, this is a statistically significant difference. Okay, let's look back at your questions for just a minute. So you could easily answer what were the results of the study in terms of means. What was the level of significance? It was 0.0001 using an alpha level of 0.05. So was it significance? It says interpret this p-value by answering questions 3 through 7. Okay, what's the probability that chance explained this mean difference? Well, it was less than 0.05, so we know it was significant. And chance explained this difference at a level of 0.0001 or 0.001% chance. What is the null hypothesis? Do you remember what null means? Null means there's no difference in the population. So in a null hypothesis, we would say there are no difference between class sample A and sample B in their test results. Are the results significant or not significant? They're very significant, or not. You don't measure significance, but they are significant because it was less than 0.05. So what is your decision regarding the null hypothesis? The null hypothesis says the two samples are the same, but we found a statistically significant difference, so we reject the null hypothesis because it was not the same. And so what's your overall conclusion? Well, your overall conclusion would be, yes, the technology group scored higher on the test than the group using the traditional curriculum. Now, depending on whether or not it was a randomized experiment would depend on if we could say it was a cause and effect relationship, that the technology caused the difference. Because there's too many other variables to take into consideration if it wasn't randomized. Maybe one class is just, it has a larger affinity or usually does better in the social studies exams. Let's try another one, excuse me, where they're not all the same. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to just cheat here for time's sake. Where they are the same. We want them to be very similar. And let's see. I'm going to change a few numbers. Okay. So calculate. Okay, let's go down here and we see this time the means are very close. The mean difference is only 1.8. The t-test is 0.62. And our two-tailed, even though it's close to being significant, it's not less than it is not close to being significant. It's 0.5, not 0.05. So this would not be statistically significant. So let's go back and look at our question. So keep in mind our two-tailed t-test is 0.54. Okay? So what's the probability that chance explained this difference? Well, it would be at least 50%. 0.5 times 100 would be 50%. So what is the null? We already know the null hypothesis. Are the results significant or not significant? They are not significant. And what is your decision regarding the null hypothesis? Well, this time, because it's not significant, the null hypothesis would be accepted because we're basically saying, yes, the groups are the same. The overall conclusion would be there would be no differences between the two groups. I hope this will help you with the data analysis assignment. Be sure to post it on your discussion board and talk amongst yourself to make sure you're getting the right answers. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks.